This is the N-Strike Elite Rhino-Fire. It's got two 25-round drums in it, and it's got a tripod, much like the Vulcan did from days of yore. And speaking of the Vulcan, it's still running off D-Cell batteries. The last time they did a blaster with D-Cell batteries was the Stampede, and to give you an idea of how long that's been, these Rayovacs, this box, I had sitting in my garage. It's even still covered in dust. As backups for the Stampede when I first got it, and I hadn't used them. And when I got this blaster, I'm like, sweet, I still have D-Cell batteries from the Stampede. I'll put them in there, and they're dead already. So it's been a while since they've done something this big. And after having this blaster for a little bit, now I'm starting to realize why, and I'm reaffirmed in the reason I didn't get it in the first place. I'm super late to the game with this blaster because I skipped it in October of 2014 when these were first starting to get sighted. I've seen other reviews out there, and they did a great job of steering me away from this behemoth. However, a good friend of mine saw one of these at Walmart and said, hey, I can get one of these for super cheap. Do you have one? And I said, no. So he's like, sweet, I'll pick it up for you. And I checked it out and like, maybe it was, first production woes that they were having issues with. But no, lo and behold, the Rhino-Fire in 2015, almost a year later after their initial release, is still having issues. Now, you've got a jam door up here. This is the biggest, most useless jam door I've ever had the pleasure of seeing because all of the issues I've had haven't been solved with the jam door. They've been up here, and they've been with this screwdriver to get darts that are doubled up on top of each other unstuck from in there. I'm using all brand new darts in this thing too, the ones that it came with. So it's not like it's an issue with the darts that I'm using to fire this. Anyway, I also found out that if you hold down halfway on the trigger, it'll prime those motors for you. And I'm already having issues. This side is already getting finicky. This is the side that originally jammed up on me. So that's been wonderful to have happen. But then I also got curious with the design of the blaster. You got these two drums on the side that make it look like a AA gun or anti-aircraft gun. And then I started thinking, well, what would it look like with the different clip or magazine sizes that Nerf has? So the 6s look hilarious. Actually, it makes the blaster, to be honest, look a little less wide. But you're going to run through 12 darts super fast. So in a blaster this big, don't bother with that. Your 12 dart magazines, clips, whatever you want to call them, start to get a little wider, a little more annoying. About the same width, honestly, as the drums. If you put 18s in it, you grow wings. So now you go from shooting down anti-aircraft or shooting down aircraft to becoming one. It's wonderful. And then I was like, well, shoot. I would love to do one of these, but Nerf never made one the other way around. Yes, I know there's a mod out there to flip this around to come out the other side instead of just one up this way. And I love that look. I don't care if the blaster sucks or anything. This drum really brings it home as an AA gun. But I don't have another one for the other side, so I stuck this in there to see. I know they were having issues where you don't have a magazine in here and one in this side. It won't fire it at all. However, it's not even feeding this side. This side's already jammed. It will continue to shoot as long as there's magazines in there. So if you're out of ammo in one and you have one other, you can at least stick it in there and have it be single fire. However, all of that said, I was really hoping this was going to be a Rapid Strike doubled up, but it can't be because the Rapid Strike works so much better than this system. So if you want dual blasting action, do what Bobololo did. Slap two of them together, put them on a camera tripod, which I can't do because right now it's attached to what you guys are watching. But yeah, that would be so much better. So I'm really disappointed that they didn't fix issues with the quality or with the timing or with whatever's going wrong with this. But then also sad that, the foregrip, the grip up front could really be wider. That could be much better for like the Vulcan. That was an awesome front carry handle for this thing. The one big trigger in the back I'm not a fan of. The grips are tiny. So you got this huge blaster with tiny hands and tiny thing up here. If someone had these size hands and this, I don't think they'd bother picking it up. Not to say that I'm strong or whatever, but when you're small and this blaster is relatively the size of you, hey, that's the size of your hand. So none of it really makes sense. I'm also kind of glad though So the one thing I'm happy about with this blaster is because these didn't jam, now I don't have to pick up 35 more darts. Because when this thing is working, you just keep firing it. You don't bother stopping. But thank you, Rhino-Fire, for saving me the trouble of picking up 35 additional darts.